This is Dr. Wysong. This series of videos on the big questions of life will show where each one of us is led if we dare to leave behind preconceived ideas and see where reason and evidence lead.
Fossil problems. The golden ages of evolution that are thought to be buried in the fossil record are presented in textbooks as if there's clear evidence that life emerged spontaneously and then gradually evolved from simple to complex. According to the previous discussions on this whole subject of origins, there can be no such evidence. Natural laws forbid it. As you'll now see, the so-called fossil evidence is a fabrication, just as predicted. Not only that, the record shows the sudden appearance of life at the Cambrian, and, other than limited epigenetic variation, creatures remain within their identifiable kinds. Geology built upon evolutionary belief. Remarkably, the geological sequence laid out in textbook charts and artfully crafted displays in museums can be found nowhere on the planet. The chart is a representation of evolutionary belief, not a record of fact. Beginning with the assumption that evolution is true, a simple fossil organism that, if found in the rocks, must be in really old rocks, and really old rocks must contain simple organisms. Contrary evidence to this is ignored or dismissed. That's how the geologic column and timetable were fabricated. Now, Bible religions have been guilty of the same sort of bias. As late as the 1800s, it was thought heretical to believe that any death could have occurred before the fall of Adam and Eve. Fossils were dead things said to predate humans and had to be explained away, such as being fish bones dropped by travelers. Back to reality. It's true that often simple creatures are found deeper than the larger, more complex ones, but that's expected with flooding and sedimentation. In general, small and dense creatures are going to settle in water more quickly than large, less dense ones. The larger organisms, most capable of fleeing a natural disaster, would be the last captured by sediment. Watery cataclysm explains such a simple to complex progression in the rocks, but also allows for the inversions and randomness also found there. The living fossil problem. There are countless animals alive today that look identical to their ancient fossil kin. Creatures that have been on Earth for millions of years and have not changed contradict evolution. Let's give the evolutionists an Earth that's 4.6 billion years old. The only time available for life to spontaneously appear would be after the Earth cooled enough for water to form. Evolutionists say that was 3.8 billion years ago. But according to geologists and paleontologists, complete life forms first appeared 3.8 billion years ago. These first life forms, if there ever was a so-called first, were called protobacteria. Now, embarrassingly, such first life forms can be found alive and well today in stromatolites. There is no evidence of precursors to stromatolite proteobacteria, and there is no evidence that these oldest life forms on Earth evolved forward. Yet we're to believe that during the 3.8 billion years they were content staying as they were. Other microbes had the ability to evolve into creatures like us. Fossil whoops. The simple to complex evolutionary progression is abundantly contradicted in the rocks. Our putative human ancestors, such as Homo erectus, are said to have arrived on the scene 1.5 million years ago. Australopithecus afarensis, a variety of ape beguilingly named Lucy, is the alleged earliest progenitor and dated 3.2 million years. That means, of course, fully formed humans could not coexist with or predate their evolutionary beginnings. However, consider these facts. And when I give a date here, these are the dating methods that are used by evolutionists. Fully human skeletons in Olduvai Gorge, Africa, have been dated at 1.15 million years old. Fossilized human footprints in volcanic ash, 3.7 million years old. Human tool use, 25 million years old. A shell with a human face carving, 2 million years old. Paleoliths, which are human artifacts, 20 to 38 million years old. Bolas, signs of fire making, and a stone arrowhead embedded in the femur of a 3.5 million year old Pliocene species. Stone tools in California gold mines in undisturbed 55 million year old lava. Coins, hammer handles, and other tools 36 million years old. Now remember, our supposed evolutionary progenitors were just 1 to 3 million years old, but now we've got evidence that humans existed tens of millions of years prior to that. There were coins, a letter-like shapes in a rock block of marble 600 million years old. A nail in 360 to 408 million year old rocks. Gold thread embedded in stone, 380 million years old. And I go on with a variety of other finds that have just been ignored by evolutionists because they don't match the evolutionary geological column that they built. In fact, some of these finds date back a billion years. Very good site to go to actually look at some of these finds. It would be mcremo.com. That's mcremo.com. If facts from the rocks are going to be used to prove evolution, then all the evidence from the rocks must be let in. The above facts and what follows are not found in any school text. They can't be, of course, or the case for the geological column, evolutionary timetable, and simple to complex biological gradation would be kaput. The atheist evolutionist Dawkins admitted, "Evolution makes the strong prediction that if a single fossil turned up in the wrong geological stratum, the theory would be blown out of the water." And that was a quote. He then follows up by saying, and I quote, "No such anachronistic fossils have ever been found," end quote. According to the evolutionary timetable, dinosaurs predated humans by almost 250 million years. However, dinosaurs have been found in Australian Aborigine paintings and in lore. They even drew the digestive tract, an overlay indicating that they apparently hunted and butchered the creatures. The Doheny expedition into the Grand Canyon in the early 1900s discovered cave drawings of duck-billed dinosaurs. Carvings on rocks in Peru show long-necked and spine-crested sauropods, brontosaurs, T-Rex, stegosaurs, and pterodactyls in great variety in the same scene with humans. This is reported by the head of the Department of Medicine at the University of Lima. Ancient Sumatran art depicts head-crested hadrosaurs and Corythosaurus dinosaurs. A drawing of North American Indians shows a warrior and Patasaurus-like creatures. Fossil fraud. In my 1974 Creation Evolution Controversy book, I showed pictures of human footprints alongside dinosaur footprints in the Texas Paluxy riverbed. I've since seen reports that some such evidence may have been doctored. If that's true, it's really no surprise. Both sides in this debate have been found guilty of such shenanigans. But an instance of fraud can't be taken to mean that all evidence showing humans coeval with dinosaurs is void. Moreover, if an incident of fraud is sufficient to reject the argument it's used to support, then evolutionists are most certainly in trouble. In 1868, the evolutionist Haeckel discussed a creature he named Pithecanthropus ailaeus, which was supposed to be a link between ape and man. But there was no evidence for it whatsoever. It was created out of sheer belief. Piltdown Man was a forged missing link. Java Man, another Pithecanthropus, was created with a few fragments from an extinct gibbon-like creature. Peking man, Nebraska man, Southwest Colorado man, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus africanus, and Homo habilis were proposed as evolutionary links, but were either outright frauds, creatures other than links, real humans, or fanciful reconstructions. Hesperopithecus was a supposed human precursor. As it turns out, it was reconstructed from a single pig's tooth. Many missing links are reconstructed from a few bone fragments or teeth. That's not science, it's imagination. Cro-Magnon man had to be retired from missing link status when specimens showed larger brain capacity than modern humans. Some reconstructions of Neanderthal man were based on an older arthritic specimen, which of course was perfect for showing a stooped, ape-like posture. But Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon are now considered fully human. This is what fossils actually prove: the sudden appearance of life. Number 2, Earth cataclysms and rapid burial. Number 3, no change between contemporary creatures and their fossils. And number 4, the coexistence of highly developed organisms with their supposed progenitors. As predicted by natural law, evolution cannot be true. The fossil record supports that. The full array of evidence is, however, completely consistent with sudden creation. This conclusion doesn't require any religious predisposition. We're simply letting reason and facts guide us. Thank you for listening. Keep in mind that solving the big questions requires foundations upon which truthful answers can be built. So please work through the series sequentially. This information has taken decades of research, thought, and writing. Aside from the peace of mind the solutions have brought me, the only reward I seek is hearing that it's helped you. Feel free to contact me with any comments or questions at asifThinkingMatters.com.